Pastor Steve. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to see all of you. If you're a visitor, my name is Daniel. I'm one of the pastors here. We have a wonderful church, and to be worshiping with every single one of you today, it is such a pleasure and a privilege to do. And we just want to thank the welcoming team. They were here all night. They painted those back doors all nice and curly white. So let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you for welcoming. Thank you very much. You put in a lot of hard work, and your service will not go unrecognized. So thank you very much. I want to start off with this. God has gifted us, believe it. God has gifted you and me with many blessings in our lives. There are countless amount of blessings that you and I can really mark and count down to say, God, you have blessed me tremendously. Right? He's given us families. He's given us our careers. He's given us this church. He's given you and me relationships. But there are times in these blessings where we just listed above, where we have these blessings, and while we have it, it's so difficult to say, God, that's still not enough. That's not enough, and I need more. God, I need more than what you have bestowed upon me. With our families, our work, and church, and relationships, things don't always line up to our satisfaction. And when they don't line up to our satisfaction, what we try to do is we try to make and produce ways in which we can be satisfied when we're lacking in those certain areas of our blessing. So take our family, for instance. It's a blessing beyond words to our families, isn't it? Your parents, your children. And I've heard, even in the most wonderful families, countless stories. You might have been the one who has said this, or you might have heard this from your parents. If you love me, I raised you, I cared for you, I've been there for you. If you love me, can you just do something to my favor? Can you buy me a car? Give me some allowance? I don't want to give you the inheritance. I want to keep it all to myself. If you love me, you will do everything you can to bless me back. Bless me back. Give me some money. Buy me a car. So what you try to do is you manipulate the situation to get everything you need when you don't feel like that blessing is enough. Or take your career. You clearly know that you're not the person to get that promotion or raise or status. So what you do is you try to manipulate the situation to say, I know how I'm going to get that raise. I know how I'm going to get this step up in my career. So I'm going to take my boss out, wine and dine him or her, smooth talk them to say, hey, I'm the right person to get this raise. I'm the right person to get this promotion, when you know that you're clearly not worth it as you show it in your work. We try to manipulate the system. Or take your relationships. You don't like a certain person in your group. You don't like a certain person that hangs out with other types of friends. So what you do is you manipulate the situation and you talk to your other friends and you say to them, him or her, you don't want them in your life. I'm far better off being in your life than if he or she were in your life. We have all these blessings that God has given us, but when it does not meet our satisfaction, we try to make and create and manipulate certain things to get something better in the end. So why do you do that? What makes you do that? Why do we manipulate? Why do we deceive? And why do we try to do these certain things when God has already given us blessings? God has been faithful from the beginning. You know why you do that? Maybe because it's your sin. Ever since the fall, because of the fall, you and I are innately, in our human, natural created order, because we are sinful, we cannot help but sin and deceive and manipulate and get what we want. Sin is all about self-glory. It promotes self-glory. You don't matter as much as I matter to me. That's why we manipulate. Or practically, you know why you manipulate? Do you know why you get and do certain things in order that you can get other things your way? It's because after you manipulate the first time, you find and see that the consequences aren't immediate. So you lie, you cheat, you say harmful things to people, and then after that you say to yourself, oh, I said all this, I got much better, I have more in my life, and actually there's no real legit consequence that comes immediately after. So you start to continue that life of manipulation. But I'm here today to tell you that is all false. You cannot live a healthy Christian life like that. You cannot do it. It's false. So here's the question. Here's the question. What happens when you cut corners, or what happens when you manipulate others? And today I want to answer that question in form of a treat. It's a guest speaker. And his name is Jacob. And what I'm going to do today is give a first-person sermon. I'm going to put myself in the body of Jacob, live his life, and show you what happens when you manipulate people and the consequences that follow. So, we're going to invite Jacob up. All right? So, for drama, let me just turn around. My name's Jacob. Oh, but look at your faces in here. It looks like some of you already know me. Yeah, I made my way into some worship songs that you sing. That seeks your face, oh God of Jacob. See, I've been there. Some of you know me, but for some of you that don't know me, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My father, his name was Isaac. My mom was Rebecca. And my grandfather was Abraham, the father of Israel. And I had a brother named Esau. And you know what? In my life, I got everything I needed. I got everything that I wanted with a snap of a finger. You want certain things in your life? I'm here to tell you that you can get it. I'm here to tell you that you can manipulate and do everything you can in your power to get what you want in the end. Everything I wanted, everything I dreamed about, I got it, and it was so easy. You don't have to talk to your, people here, you guys are all working, right? You guys want a promotion. Oh, you want a little raise in your status. You want to get higher up in your career. Oh yeah, you want to sweet talk. You want to do all this. I'm here to tell you there's an easy way to get that. If I were in your situation, I would deceive and manipulate my boss to get everything I wanted. Oh, as a matter of fact, I was talking to some of your pastors here at church. Oh, they told me the history about Living Grace Church. And I asked them, well, how did you become Living Grace Church? Oh, met with the elders. Oh, you had a big retreat where you all planned together and you prayed together. Over 2 months you did all of this to get this? Oh, come on. That takes too long. If I were part of the staff, I would get this church like that. And you know what? I would have gotten this entire campus all to ourselves. That takes too long. There's always an easy way out. And I'm telling you right now, you can always manipulate. You can always deceive. Oh, you don't believe me? You don't believe that I can get whatever I want, I got anything that I wanted with a snap of a finger? Let me tell you. I was at home one day hanging out in my tent. Back in Israel, it was so hot, we're hanging out, and my dad told my brother to go out and catch some game. My brother was a good hunter, and for myself, I kind of stayed at home. My mother, Rebecca, she was so loving to me, and so I stayed in the house, the tent, and we hung out together, and I was making some stew with her. My dad and my brother, they were out for a long, long day. Oh boy, I know they're tired. I could have gone out with them, but it's better to stay inside and make some of your famous lentil soup. I was hanging out inside and I hear footsteps coming back. It's Esau, my brother. And he wasn't just walking back, he was crawling. And he was crouched over because he was so tired. I could hear him gasping and saying to me, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry. I looked over at him and I said, this guy's really, really hungry. But he was so hungry to the point of death. To the point of death. And he said, Jacob, give me something to eat. I think I'm going to die. And this was my perfect time. Esau, he had the birthright. He had the birthright. Some of you will notice this and know this as like an inheritance or a will. Your father or mother gives you everything. But that will or inheritance, that birthright only came to the eldest son. My brother Esau, he came out before me. I grabbed onto his heel as we were coming out of my mother's womb. Yeah, he came out first, so yeah, I guess he gets it all. But then, this was the right time because as he came in, he said, I'm so hungry to the point of death. I feel like I'm going to die. And I said to him, Esau, give me your birthright. Give me your birthright, and I'll trade my lentil stew for that. He's like, anything, man, anything. I just need something to eat. So he took lentil stew and he was eating. Looked over at him, stupid brother. It's so easy. Just like that, you can manipulate the system to get what you want. And I had a better life after that. I had the best life after that. See that? Snap of the finger, immediately. Oh, you don't believe me? You don't believe that I can get even more than that by manipulation? Not convinced enough? Let me tell you a little more. Many years after that, my father was getting old in age. And as you get old in age, you have to bless your children, right? But for him, he's going to bless his favorite son, and it was Esau, because they both hunted game together. They went out and did all the fun stuff together. And to receive a blessing is the best thing you can get. Best thing after the birthright. And as I found out that my dad was ready to give a blessing, it was time enough. Yeah, I know the first time I was a bit reluctant to manipulate my brother, but that's when I understood that once you manipulate, it gets easier and easier after that. So my mom came over to me. Jacob, I heard that your dad wants to bless Esau and give him his blessing. Not if I can handle it, said my mom. What do you mean, Mom? He wants to give it to Esau, but Esau, he went out to get some game and cook some barbecue for your dad. There's a way that I can get the blessing for you. I said, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. But there was difficulty in that because I had smooth skin. My brother Esau had rough skin. He smelled a little different, and my dad, he's going blind. He could probably tell. And my voice, it was not as strong and muscular and vibrant as my brother Esau. So my mom said, just with a hint of like what you would call a Halloween costume, dress yourself up, make yourself look like Esau, catch some game, come back in, give it to your dad, and he'll give you the blessing. I said, all right. My brother went off. Idiot, he went too far. I went around and I caught that game in a moment's time, and I came back in. My mom had my brother's Esau's clothes ready for me. She got some fur and some hair from an animal, so she put it on my skin. And I walked in and I cooked that barbecue, and I said, Dad, here I am. Oh, who is this? Oh, man, come on. Who is this? It's Esau. It's Esau. Come closer. He said, come closer. And he came over and he felt my skin, and believe you me, there was fur on there. I looked like I felt like Esau. I smelled like Esau, and I talked like him. My dad said, okay, all right, I'm ready to give you my blessing. And to receive a blessing back then, it's like you get all the physical replenishment, you get spiritual replenishment. Nations who bless me, they will be blessed by me. Nations who curse me, they will be cursed by me. I will never go hungry again. People will love and they will adore me. This blessing is everything that any person would want, and I was right there to get it. And my dad said to me, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve you and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be everyone who blesses you. And I stood there, and I received it. Just like that. I got everything that I wanted. Oh man, can't tell the difference from his two sons. Yeah, I heard my mom told me that my brother Esau wanted to kill me. He was after me, he hated me. So what I did is I manipulated that situation. I ran over to my uncle's house, Laban, over in some other country town. I did more deceiving there. Yeah, and manipulated there too. Yeah, he wanted to keep me in his house because I was blessing the household. I was padding his bank account. I was doing all these wonderful and beautiful things. But he wanted to keep me. You see, he manipulated me. You know what you do when someone manipulates you, but you're the master manipulator? You manipulate him right back. So he didn't want to give me his sheep and goats. He didn't want to give me the lamb and the flock. So what I did is I went over to this riverbank, got them 2 sticks, I rubbed them together. And as I rubbed them together, something started to happen. These sheep and goats, they started to mate with one another, and lo and behold, more sheep and goats came out. They were my possession. And I ran off. I ran off with my wives, and I went over to a different place, and I manipulated that as well. You see? I got everything that I wanted. You too. You can get everything and anything that you want. You can do it, I'm telling you. And I got away with it. I manipulated, I got away with it. Everything I need is stress-free, happy, successful. I'm the most happy and successful guy here on this earth. At least that's what I thought. I thought I was happy. I thought I was successful. I thought I was stress-free. Yeah, I got all of this. I got all that I did through manipulation, but for what? I lost a brother. I lost a brother who I loved. He was my only friend. A brother who was so dear to me, he wanted to kill me. My dad, I didn't even know if he's going to get a proper burial because he's so old. But I ran away and I took off. My relationship with my mom, I loved her so much, but I ran away to my uncle's house in Laban. I ran away further. Who knows what happened to her? Yeah, I got all this. I got everything that I needed for what, though? All of this for what? I lost everything. I lost my friends. I lost my family. There was a point even in my life, I bore 12 children, all sons. And you know, because I manipulated back in the past, my very own 11 sons, they learned from me. And they hated Joseph. And they manipulated that system as well because they wanted to get the blessing from me, but they knew that Joseph was so dear and favored by me that they wanted to kill him. You know how much that broke my heart? It all happened from the beginning. You manipulate once and it's going to start to continue, and it actually has a ripple effect around all of those people around you who are so near and dear to you. Look what I've started. Look what happened to my life because I manipulated. God, how can you use me now? How can you use me? I'm defeated. There's nothing I can do. Then it hit me. And I'm a failure. I'm manipulated. There's nothing I can do. But you know, I had a God, and I still have a God, that showed up in my life even when I sinned. He still showed up, and He blessed me. He still used me for His kingdom work. He came back and He still said to me, Jacob, you are going to be the blesser of all nations. My God is a God who can still use people even when we have done the most horrendous things. Why? Because He's a gracious God. He's a gracious God, but not only is He a gracious God, He's a faithful God. Faithful God. I manipulated, I deceived, I lost everything, but God still used me and He still came into my life and He showed up. And He comforted me. He was so faithful, in fact. So faithful that He reconciled the relationship between me and my brother. My brother ran over to me, he hugged me. God's so faithful because I was wondering, am I going to give my father proper burial? At the age of 180, my brother and I said, you know what, let's go bury Dad together. We buried him. And God, even through the 12 sons and the 11 that manipulated and deceived and hated my son Joseph, through the 11 and the 12 tribes of Israel. We have Joseph, who was second in command of Egypt. God still used me in my brokenness, my sin, even though I fell away. And you know what I learned? God was still faithful when I sinned, but the fact of the matter is I still went through a whole lot of difficulty. I went through a whole lot of difficulty. And you know what I'm here to tell you? Don't make the same mistake I did. Don't manipulate people. Don't deceive people. Yeah, I know God is a God who's going to show up in your sin. He's going to show up in your hurt. He's going to redeem you. God's faithful. I know that. But just receive His blessing. Don't have to go through life with all the difficulty and consequences of wondering if you're going to even have a life. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Listen after me. Keep your ministry. Do as God tells you. Obey Him. Trust Him. Love Him. Love others. I love you enough to tell you that I don't want you to go through any of the trouble that I went through. Yeah. I know some of you want to manipulate. You want to deceive, and you do it because the consequences are immediate. It starts to pile up. It piles up and it gets difficult. Living Grace Church, God has a wonderful plan for you in your life. He has a wonderful, masterful plan for you in your life. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Don't cut corners. Don't cut corners in your life, in your relationships, or in your ministry. Don't try to control your life with wit or deception. I want you to believe that His ways are better. His ways are smarter. His ways are wiser. And I know it's hard not to want to get the things in your life your way. But look at Jesus. God the Father gave a will to Jesus for Him to die. He was beaten, stricken, ashamed, persecuted. At any point, Jesus could have manipulated the system to say, God, you know I don't have to do this. You know you can create some other person to be holy enough. Why do I have to do this? Jesus could have easily done that. But you know what Jesus did? He still took the cross. He still took death. But you know why He went through all that pain, all that suffering? Because He kept the Father's will. And in His will, as He obeyed, He resurrected in 3 days. And as He rose again, He came to give you and me new life. You and me new life. You want to talk about difficulty? Oh, you want to cut corners? Look to Jesus. Look to me. Don't go through any of that. So obey God. Follow his ways. Don't cut corners. Trust me. Trust me, it's better that way. It's better that way. Let's pray. Father, we thank you.